All right, let's jump right in. We're going to unpack a question that's at the very heart of every single song you love. Who really makes the music? Is it the person who dreamed it up or the person who brings it to life? So go ahead. Think of your absolute favorite song. Got it? Okay, now, who made it? Is the first person you picture the singer belting it out on stage? Or is it someone you've probably never even heard of, working quietly behind the scenes? It seems like a simple question, right? But trust me, the answer is way more interesting than you'd think. So, let's break this down. The best way to get a handle on it is to think about two key roles. We've got the architect, and we've got the explorer. These two are behind pretty much every piece of music ever made. And here's the core of it right here. On one hand, you've got the composer. They're the architect. They're the ones who literally create the blueprint for a piece of music out of thin air, just pure imagination. And on the other hand, you've got the performer. They're the explorer. They take that blueprint, that plan, and actually bring it to life with their instrument or their voice. It's like one person draws the treasure map, and the other person goes on the epic adventure. But, it wasn't always like this. This idea of two separate jobs is actually pretty modern. If you go way back to the 1700s, guys like Mozart and Beethoven, they were the whole package. They wrote the music, and then they went on stage and performed it themselves. But then as music got way more complicated in the 1800s, people began to focus on being really good at just one thing. And now today, it's completely normal for a composer to write a song for a pop star they've never even met. It's a whole different world. Okay, so if these are two different jobs, what kind of gear and skills do you actually need for each one? Let's take a peek inside their toolkits. For a composer, everything is about creation. It all starts in their head, right? With imagination and a solid grasp of music theory. That's kind of like the grammar of music. They might use a piano to work out some ideas, but honestly, today, tech is king. They use something called a digital audio workstation, or a DAW, which is basically a super powerful music studio inside a computer. They can use MIDI controllers, those keyboard-looking things, to play and record any sound imaginable, and use special software to write it all down. It's pretty amazing. Now, a performer's world is totally different. Their toolkit is all about execution. It's less about creating from scratch and more about becoming an absolute master of an instrument or their own voice. We're talking lightning-fast music reading, perfect rhythm, and the ability to pour real emotion into the performance. And don't forget the mental game. You need a rock-solid memory for long pieces, and of course, you've got to handle that crazy pressure of being in the spotlight. All right, so we have these two different worlds, but how do they talk to each other? How does an idea get from the composer's brain to the performer's fingers? Well, they need a common language. And that language is sheet music. It's really just an instruction manual for music. It's a whole system of symbols that tells a musician everything they need to know, what note to play, how long to hold it, whether to play it loud or soft. It's so powerful that a composer can write something today, and 100 years from now, a performer can play it almost exactly how the composer imagined it. But, and this is a big but, the sheet music isn't the whole story. It's just a map. And as this quote says, the performer is the one who actually chooses the path. This is where things get really cool, because this is where art comes in. We call this interpretation. This is all about the performer's own unique artistic choices. The notes on the page are the same, but the performer decides how to play them. Should this part be a little faster? Should this note be played with more sadness? That's all up to them. It's their chance to add their own personality. And that's exactly why you can listen to 10 different guitarists play the exact same solo, and each one will feel completely different. So they can work separately, sure. But in the real world, especially today, the true magic happens when these two worlds collide and they actually work together. Just think about how your favorite pop song was probably made. It starts with a composer or a songwriter who has an idea. They bring it to the artist, the performer. The singer might go, I love this, but that note is a little too high for me. Or what if we changed this lyric? Then they all get in the studio with a producer who helps polish everything. The final song you hear, it's not just one person's idea. It's a total team effort, a mashup of vision and skill. And then, there are times when the line between composer and performer just vanishes. This is improvisation. Think about a jazz musician or a rock guitarist taking a solo. They are literally making up the music on the spot. In that moment, the performer is the composer. It's this incredible burst of creativity where both roles are happening at the exact same time. So if both people are contributing, how does everyone get credit and, get paid? That's where something called copyright comes in. It's basically a set of rules to protect everyone's work. The composer gets the copyright for the song they wrote, the notes and the lyrics. This makes sure they get paid whenever that song is used. But get this, the performer also gets a separate copyright for their specific recording of that song. It's a clever system that makes sure both the architect and the explorer are rewarded for their work. Okay, so after hearing all of this, maybe you're thinking, which one of these sounds more like me? Let's break down what it might look like to head down either one of these musical paths. When it comes to training, they're pretty different. A composer's education is all about creating brand new things. They'll study harmony and orchestration, which is the art of arranging music for a whole bunch of instruments. A performer, though, is focused on mastering music that already exists. They'll spend thousands of hours just perfecting their technique. So one is like a musical puzzle solver, and the other's more like a world-class athlete. And a lot of the time, it really just comes down to your personality. Are you the kind of person who loves the quiet focus of building something amazing from scratch all by yourself in a studio? That's the composer's life. Or do you feed off the energy of a crowd? Do you love the spotlight and that incredible feeling of connecting with a live audience? Well, that's the performer's life. So in the end, who really makes the music? The answer is both. You absolutely cannot have one without the other. Music needs that brilliant blueprint, but it also needs the incredible skill to bring it to life. It needs the architect, and it needs the explorer. So the real question isn't who's more important. The real question is, for you, which one are you? The creator who builds new worlds, or the performer who explores them?